We're going to a sport that people love that we talk about, Dave. This is the best sport that people think we talk about, right? A little bit of MMA, UFC.
A lot of shit too.
Baseball, UFC. So there was this was coming over the weekend. Had to be pushed to today because of everything we had with Football Friday, or Football Monday yesterday. But Dana White was talking and basically made comments that the next fight for Israel Adesanya will be to move up a division to face, I'm going to screw up this name, Jan Bakovic, the Polish guy, Bakovic, the Polish guy who just had won his belt at the last pay-per-view, not the last one, but the one before 253, I believe it was, that I was watching. Dave, the question is, Adesanya wants to move up. Is he going to be the next champ that we see? The next two-belter like we saw Conor McGregor? Or does it not even mean, like, make a deal at all?
Kind of just seems like a cash grab from Dana White here. Trying to bring some juice to UFC during these times. Like, this is a situation where I know our commentators are like, oh, Adesanya is a draw. Mm-hmm. What are you talking about? Look at the numbers. Look at the pay-per-view sales. Look at the ratings. Like, that's, if you think he's on the same level as a Conor McGregor, Khabib Nurmagomedov, like, you're insane. Mm-hmm. He's not, and you need to get over yourself and look at the fucking facts. So
I think he can be. He's just not yet.
Champ is a situation where, hey, this could be history again. We could have the fourth ever champ in UFC history.
Yeah.
It could be a big deal. It absolutely could be. Is he good enough to beat Jan? That one's a matchup I haven't dug into a ton. Yeah. But if he takes a fight, hell yeah! Like, why not? Like,
well, because I mean, even Jan winning that title, he was the underdog in that fight. Like, it wasn't expected for him to win it. So when he did, it was like, holy shit, he's now the champ. And like, the thing I find the funniest about it in the comments from Dana White is it says, regarding the Adesanya-Jan fight, White said he met with Adesanya this past week in Vegas. The initial plan was to have Adesanya face Robert Whittaker in a rematch, but White said Whittaker said in interviews last week that he didn't want a title fight right now, which White called the craziest shit he's ever heard. Which I kind of agree with him, where it's like, yo, bro, we're going to give you a title fight. Nah, bro, I don't want that. I don't want a title fight.
I don't know the reasoning behind it, but that does seem a bit strange.
So basically this was Adesanya wants to go up and try it. And go up and try to do the 2-2. He would have to add on weight though, because
that's usually easier. Like, that's
taking off
is easier than taking off. Yeah, like that was the whole thing. Like, Conor got to the point where like he looked like Skeletor in his last fight as a lighter weight class, and like.
And isn't there some weird rule that they can like lose the weight, get below it, and then like don't have to keep that weight and then can gain some of it back before the fight? That's
the whole thing with that is basically they dehydrate themselves massively going into the last 24 hours, 48 hours before a fight to cut down. The problem was that guys rehydrating back up previously had access to IVs for fluids to rehydrate quickly. They no longer do. So gaining back that weight and that hydration, a little more difficult now. We've seen some effects of guys who looked a little exhausted without that. But for the most part, these guys do insane weight cuts, and it's apparently just part of the job and the expectations.
Yeah.
But going up's easy. Add mass, add muscle. No problemo. Like, these guys are going around it like that's probably closer to their walking weight than it is than what they're dropping down to. So their cuts are less, they're able to add a little more muscle mass. Like, everything works out.
Yeah, and the other thing that I know Dana White mentioned that might not be a big thing to other people, but it may be, is he's not stripping the belt off Khabib yet. Khabib's going to keep the belt even though he retired. I'm thinking that's also because Dana White's made comments that he doesn't think Khabib is actually done.
And he doesn't want to, he wants that fight confirmed for Conor, first. That's the answer.
The one that he wants in Texas, Dave? The one that he wants to take place in that Texas stadium,
Telling you, as soon as that fight signs, that belt's on the line.
Yeah,